as we go rolling out on this Saturday morning. We've got the rain and some gusty winds rolling into the West Metro by all means, but our warnings are slowly falling apart. That doesn't mean that the winds are not still very gusty. It just means they're starting to lose their severe criteria. Criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning is a wind gusting to 60 miles per hour or hail an inch in diameter. We still have some winds gusting in excess of 40 or 50 miles per hour, certainly. Still trying to roll on into parts of the West Metro, but they're losing some of that extra zip that's been rolling around. As you can see, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning. Well, I say that. Maybe you can't quite see that. There's a lot of color on this map. Rain's been rolling on in. Some of that rain very heavy at times. Maybe that's enough, certainly, to wake you up, along with some thunder and lightning. The bulk of the thunder and lightning is rolling on into the western part of the Twin Cities with the heaviest of rains in that deepest of red. But the outline that you see right here, this yellow outline flashing, that's the only severe thunderstorm warning we currently have. We'll see if that's expanded. So far, it hasn't been, and all other severe thunderstorm warnings have been canceled. This goes through 6:45, another 5 or 6 minutes there for portions of Meeker, Sherburne, and Wright counties. Stearns County on the backside of that has been allowed and has been canceled out of that. That's for winds gusting to 60 miles per hour and hail an inch in diameter. It's starting to leave on the back edge or on the front edge of all this, but St. Michael, Baldwin, you're still part of that severe thunderstorm warning. Plenty of thunder and lightning on the front edge of all that with some very heavy rain continuing to expand along that line. As that continues to propagate out, it goes over sections near Waconia, but not part of a warning just yet, heading into Lake Minnetonka with very heavy rainfall rates upwards of an inch plus per hour as it continues along. Very similar to what we had yesterday that led to some of those flash flood warnings that went right through parts of the Twin Cities during the late afternoon and into the early evening hours across parts of the viewing area as a whole. Now, all that energy is rolling on through for parts of our Saturday morning, and the leading edge and the strongest part of all these morning storms are coming through on the first part of our morning. Now, some folks across the metro area, obviously, you're seeing the rain roll on by. Thunder and lightning rolling from White Bear Lake back up through the 35 corridor, 35W, back on up through Shoreview and Blaine, back up towards Ramsey and a good chunk of Anoka County. But these portions of the storms, this leading edge of storms, not warned. It's that midsection of the front edge of storms, so to speak, that had all the warnings overall. Now we widen that view and you can see the big pulse of the storms, the blossoming of that leading edge of storms. That's what's rolling through the Twin Cities now. Plenty of rain behind it, and this is the whole morning. This is going to take us all the way to lunchtime. Flash flood warning, that's back on Highway 59. That's back through parts of western Minnesota. That was issued back at 3:45 this morning, goes all the way to 10:45 this morning. This area here, including portions of Montevideo, back through Dawson along Highway 212 there, goes through 10:45. Folks out in parts of western Minnesota saw between 2 and 3 inches of rain in the wee hours of the morning when this was really aggressive as it came in and blossomed out of sections of South Dakota. Luckily, a lot of that has tamed in terms of its rainfall rates. Still copious amounts of rain coming on through here, and a lot of us, especially on the south and the east side of town, picked up an inch or more of rain yesterday. The north side of town, for instance, Maple Grove, Plymouth border, I saw maybe a sprinkle yesterday afternoon into the evening, maybe, and that was all I had. Now, all that energy continues to roll on by. We have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect through 9 a.m. The back edge of this watch has been canceled already and will fall on off. So we'll start to see this watch fall apart. So the leading edge of all these storms pushing on by, that's the severe component. This has had a history of winds to 60 to almost 80 miles per hour, and that wasn't that long ago, as a matter of fact. Some of these winds coming in through parts of Yellow Medicine County back at 5:20 this morning. There's a wind gust of 79 miles per hour out in Hanley Falls. Canby had a wind gust of 61 miles per hour back at the back of the 4 o'clock hour. And then down in Murray County, we had a wind gust of 57 miles per hour just about an hour ago at 5:40 this morning. Again, all this energy is rolling on through the strongest amounts, the heaviest of rains, the largest amount of thunder and lightning, and the gustiest of winds will be rolling on through the Twin Cities as we move through the 7 and into the early 8 o'clock hour, moving into Wisconsin into the 8 o'clock hour proper. If there are going to be any warnings associated with these morning storms, they are going to be rolling on through pretty much over the next 2 hours or so. And then everything beyond that will be more, I hate to say garden variety, because there's not much garden variety about just heavy rains at times. Good old pockets of heavy rain through mid to late morning. We should be wrapping up all of our rains around or just after lunchtime overall. We'll take some breaks this afternoon. We'll see some pocket storms develop later this afternoon, and then we'll see a lot of rain and storms overnight tonight and through the day on Sunday as well. I'll have all your forecasts. We'll start the show off coming up at 7 a.m. I'll wait until 7 a.m. to see you. Unless we pop a warning in the metro, I'll wait until then to revisit, and we'll chat in grand detail once again. Otherwise, back to your programming.